34 years old, Tom Brady is approaching his goal of playing in the NFL until the age of 45 and has done so quite successfully, coming off a Super Bowl win, as we all know. Well, Peter King met with Brady recently, writing that in 2009, the QB told King he wanted to play until he was 41. In 2017, it became his mid-40s, and now King almost expects Brady to play past the 2022 season. So, Shannon, how many more years do you think Brady will play?
I'm going to say he plays this year and next year. I believe he finishes out the 2022 season, Skip, because his contract is fully guaranteed. So even if he walks away, he gets that money, but I believe he fulfills his obligation and plays. Skip, he's done a great job, barring the 2008 season in which he suffered that knee injury. He's been relatively healthy, and he's done a great job of protecting himself. He doesn't take the big shots that we see some of the quarterbacks. That shot that Justin Fields took on a Saturday. We don't see Tom Brady take those kinds of shots. Those are the kind of shots that a 40-year-old, 44-year-old guy can ill afford to take. He knows that, so he does a great job. Tampa has done a great job. He went to the prime location because, Skip, like I said, they got 7 guys. They're about to have 8 because Tom Brady's in the top 10. So of the top 100 players, the Buccaneers field 8 of them. You can make a case if you go to 110, you put AB and you put Gronk on there.
You would.
So they got 10 of the top 110 players in the NFL. That's a very good roster. And he said it. As long as I feel I'm a championship quarterback, as long as I feel I'm not a liability, well, hell, with that kind of talent, you can't possibly think you're a liability. They've done a great job. Tom Brady has done a great job, not only of understanding and still wanting to absorb and learn and have knowledge, but he's done a great job of taking care of himself, and he's in a great situation. I don't believe he could have played much longer than New England because the talent level is not what it is in Tampa. So, Skip, I think a lot of that decline that we thought we were starting to see wasn't so much him, it was what they had around him, and he was no longer able to elevate those guys because Edelman couldn't run. They had let Amendola go. Gronk was like, nah, I can't do this grind. I can't let you beat me up in practice, all this, and I want to be able to have fun. So he went where they got young talent. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, this young talent. Offensive line is good. And that defense is going to be good for a very, very, very long time. So, Skip, I'm going to say he plays until 2022.
I would also like to remind our viewers that you, Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer, have done a great job of motivating Tom Brady year after year after year here on Undisputed.
That's what he told me.
He told you that. You have tried to retire him. You have said that his arm is in decline. And year after year after year, he's said, no Shannon, no Shannon, no Shannon. Now he tells the great Peter King that, you know, I feel really good. Well, he should feel really good because all he did was have off-season knee surgery to fix a torn ligament that he played with last year. And as Peter King points out, that at age 43 a year ago, in a pandemic with no preseason, that he proceeded to throw for more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes threw for last year and more yards than Aaron Rodgers threw for, and the Bucs won the Super Bowl by 22 points. What a year.
Yeah.
And what a year this could be for those same Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the great Peter King concludes, now I'd be mildly surprised if Tom doesn't play beyond 45, beyond the 2022 season.
Right.
I wouldn't either. He loves what he's doing.
Yeah, he does.
There was an anecdote where Peter King wrote it, where he was telling his son, you need to find something that makes you happy every day to do. And if you find that, you're golden, man, because I jump out of bed, said Tom, Father Tom, I jump out of bed every day. I love what I'm doing. He said his trainer, Alex Guerrero, jumps out of bed because Alex loves what he's doing. Well, he should, because he's working with the GOAT, you know, and he's keeping the GOAT upright. So that works.
Yeah, he gets paid. It's not so much he gets paid to work with the GOAT. He gets paid not to work with anybody else.
That is true. I would agree. So Peter King asks, do we realize exactly what we're seeing? Well, I think we get numb to it after a while, because he also points out that Wayne Gretzky was in decline at age 35 and out of hockey at 39, and Michael Jordan was 34, obviously, when he had his last great year, and Peyton Manning retired at age 40. Do we realize exactly what we're seeing? I try to like pinch myself every day and say, we get to watch him and we get to talk about him because no one's ever done this and he ain't done yet.
Right.
And it looks like he's happier than ever in a situation, as you detailed. I don't know what's not to like about this team.
Yeah.
I didn't love how Bruce Arians got on him publicly last year, but Tom seemed to just shake it off. He sort of was amused by it. And Jason Light keeps doing a better and better job, and they keep bringing back guys that I think they couldn't. Even they go down to like Aaron Stinney, the backup guard who played down the stretch in the playoffs. They got him to come back, right?
For half of what he could have really got on the open market.
So they keep pulling off those little moves. Man, I don't know. Why would, again, I got to knock on wood because I hate to even bring it up, but he does play a collision. So what do you call it? A
collision sport.
Collision sport. It's not just contact, it's collision. Yeah. And he is going to experience some collisions this year. Right. And he needs to be able to survive them.
Minimizing those.
Yeah.
It's those big shots. You're not taking many of those Justin Fields shots, Skip, at 44 and think you're going to play more, you're going to play continued through the seasons. Yep. And that's the thing that Tom knows. He has a sense. You saw in Cincinnati, Skip, the guy got pressured like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to be able to get out here. Let me go on down, touch me down. We good to see another day. He's not going to have guys landing on him because, Skip, that's when you get the shoulder separations and the rotator cuff issues. He's like, nope. I'll go on down. You touch me because if you fall on top of me, they're going to throw a flag, and you don't want that. So he's done a great job. Tampa had a great core of players, and now he's maximizing that. He's getting the best out of those players. And he's right. Peyton had the injury, or I believe Peyton was going to play until his later 40s. He was not going to retire had he not had that neck injury. Jordan, the situation with him, Skip, is that he played so hard on both ends. You don't be a 9-time defensive, all-NBA defensive player and a 11, 12-time all-NBA player because he has to play. And Gretzky, Gretzky was in the, even though he didn't get hit much, they was running into him too. But Tom, you have to, having played this game and knowing at 35, I didn't want to go to no more meetings. And I'm doing everything I possibly can. I'll probably go into the bathroom. Man, I got to go to the bathroom. Man, I got to go to the bathroom. I was probably spent the better part of my meetings in the bathroom when I was just sitting there, just thinking like, man, how can I get out of the meeting tomorrow? What do I need to tell somebody? And he loves it. I'm already thinking about, Skip, here it is a Wednesday, and I'm already thinking about Thursday, Friday, what can I tell BP now to get out of this meeting?
Tom Brady loves to go home and watch tape. Watch tape. That's what he does for fun. Watch tape.
But I missed a lot of programs watching tape. And that's what got me watching football games in silent, Skip, because there's no sound. So when you're watching game tape, there's no sound to it. So you just get none like, okay, you're supposed to watch everything with no sound. And here I am, I'm watching everything with just like, no, I can't do this. So I was like, nah, I'm done.
So you're sure about this year and next year?
I give him this year and next year, Skip.
And are you in concrete with that one now?
No, I'm not in concrete, Skip, but like I said, Skip, anything can happen, but I'm assuming he doesn't take the big hit, he doesn't have the injury, and that he plays, he's 44 now? 45. That was his goal.
But Peter King wrote about how his goals changed year after year after year.
But right? I think this has kind of been his goal, Skip. I think this has kind of been his goal for about, at least since we've come on this show, we've been talking about 45, and I didn't think he was going to get to 45. And I knew he was going to, but my thing was, Skip, I said, he ain't getting to 45 on Coach Belichick watch.
Nope. And yet Peter King concludes that they even went out and got him Giovanni Bernard, just a little scat back who's been around, who knows how to catch it out of the backfield. They didn't really have that man last year. I thought my little man from Vanderbilt, Keyshawn Vaughn, was going to be that. Kind of got doghoused at mid-year, but he'll come around, and he could be in the next 3 or 4 years the Geo.
And they're talking about this guy they got out of North Texas that Brady is mentoring.
I know, now he's got a kid.
And then see, I don't think, Skip, I don't know how much in New England Coach Belichick and the coaches allow the players to coach. That's our job. And Brady says, I go somewhere and somebody let me have an opinion. They'll let me say, well, this is what I want and this is how I get it done. So for me, Skip, like I said, he's playing unbelievable. He has weapons. They're a very, very talented team. But I'm going to say this year and next year, 45. And he's like, you know what? Who knows? He could possibly win a championship in the next 2 years and get it at 8, and I don't think anybody's ever going to get 8.
And Tom Brady might have just been watching you say that live and said, thank you, Shannon Sharp, for motivating me again so I can play 3 more years. He just might have.
I have a feeling I might continue to be asking this question for a while now.
I gave him 2 more.
It's a theme
This
around
one
here.
next.
It's a theme around Undisputed. But how about this? Is it time for CeeDee Lamb to be Dak's #1 guy?
Oh, yeah.
We explain.
Somebody thinks so.